episode, I'll be sharing with you something that almost wrecked me. And I know you want to know about it, right? So please just watch all the way to the end and let's share this together. So, continuing my story about my childhood, my teenagehood, the challenges and the not so easy road and path that I had to pass through, right? Now, while I was in secondary school, early secondary school, I hated the way I looked. I had low self esteem. I hated myself. I hated my face. I hated my nose. I hated the way I felt. I was so skinny. I would look at myself in the mirror and start crying that I'm so thin. I'm like, sticky meatballs. Yes, it was really bad. I didn't like the way I looked. I hated the way I looked because I felt I was the smallest in the school. I mean, a lot of students would start giggling, asking themselves, "Have you seen the smallest girl in the school?" People would come to check me out, check out my size because I was really tiny. I was really small. I mean, you're looking at me now, I'm fat. Then I was tiny. And I used to feel so bad about myself. I would cry. I would run to my dad. I would cry. And I would tell him that I don't like the way I look, and he would encourage me. Now, don't worry, you will get bigger, you'll get finer, you'll be much better. And that's what you as a parent should do. You should encourage your children because they pass through a lot of challenges. A lot of times we think that we as parents are the ones passing through a lot of challenges. You don't know what your teenagers are going through. You don't know what your children are going through. A lot of comparison is happening. I used to compare myself. I'd look at myself and say, why are others doing better than me? I had a poor self-esteem, I'm telling you. I couldn't even stand where my peers were because I felt I was never good enough. It was really bad. I would start fabricating stories, start telling lies. When you see the happening girls in school, you also want to feel among. I'm sure if you're a teenager, you can relate to what I'm saying here. You see the happening girls, you also want to be in their circle. Why? Because you feel that they are the ones that have all the good friends, all the good stuff. That was how I felt. And because my background wasn't easy, we didn't have all the money. We had to manage most of the time. We had to manage resources. So when the other girls in schools would come with their affluence, I would hide away. I wouldn't want to be seen. And when I come out, I'll start telling lies. I will tell lies about my boyfriends. I never had boyfriends. Probably I had one when I was 15, but then I would lie. I would tell lies. I would come out and start saying that, yes, this guy did this guy told me. It's all a lie. All I was doing was just to have what acceptance. I just wanted to be accepted. I just wanted to be among. So my poor self-esteem robbed me of a lot of things. Let me share with you one experience that I had. So, because I had that poor self image, I was also very shy. I couldn't stand in class. So, it robbed me of my position and a lot of things. Let me share one story with you. Very heartbreaking, right? Very heartbreaking because I wish I could have surmounted that, right? So we had this history debate in my class. I was maybe in Form 4 then. That's like SS1, and we had this history class that we had to come and defend, come and talk about, do a debate. I had studied and I was selected to be on the Mansa Musa side. I don't know whether any of you know what Mansa Musa is. It's some person in history, right? So I had taken notes, I had written all my points, and I was ready, had practiced. And then the D-Day came, and we all had to come out and present our points. The first person came out, debated, said this and all of that. And when it was my turn, I got right in front of class and I couldn't speak. Yes, I couldn't speak. I'm sure you wonder, the person who's speaking right now. Yes, I could not speak. I was saying Mansa Musa, Mansa Musa. I couldn't even say my points. I was full of stage fright. It was just before a couple of students. I couldn't even talk. It was like as if the entire floor should open and I'd be swallowed up. That day marked a big turning turning point in my life. I wasn't even able to defend my position. I could not even debate. But you know what? The teacher took my notes, knew that I knew everything because I know I'm a sharp girl, right? But I just couldn't talk because I was shy. I wasn't bold. The teacher gave me those marks. She gave me half marks, right? I could have gotten my full potential, but because I was shy, I couldn't stand. I was wobbling. My knees were wobbling and fumbling. I couldn't stand before people. I lost that position. I lost that debate. So what now happened after that? I started telling God. I gave my life to Christ in SS1. Yeah, that's Form 4. I gave my life to Christ. I knew Jesus and I started asking Him for grace to be bold, to be able to stand before my peers, to be able to say what's on my mind. And God did it. This is an example. This is obviously, you can see that God has done it. So that was my childhood. I was a coward. I couldn't face my fears. I couldn't speak before my friends. I was always lying because I had a bad self image and a poor self esteem. Now, if you have teenagers, or if you are a teenager or a young person experiencing this, you're human. I agree. But there's something you need to realize, that there's a special thing that God has put in you. And the only way to unlock it is to seek God's grace to unlock it. So if you are going through shyness, or maybe you are not bold to stand before people, here are a couple of things you can do. First of all, pray about it, just like I did. All right? I prayed about it as a teenager, and God heard my prayer. But not only did I just do that, I began to practice. I began to bring my skills forward. I began to put myself out there, right? So you need to practice. Practice makes perfect. Remember that. You need to practice. So after you've prayed, take that bold step. Start practicing. Put yourself in front of a mirror and start talking. And then give yourself opportunities in school or wherever you may be found to do some speaking in front of large people. Now, initially, you would have butterflies all over you. Yeah, you'll feel like, oh, I can do this. But what you can do is look above their heads. Try not to look into their eyes. Try as much as possible. Do that a couple of times, and later on, you'll be able to make eye contact. It's a matter of practice, and God is going to do it. So that was one of the challenges I faced as a young teenager. That is the challenge of what? Low self-esteem, poor self-esteem. Yes. So that's one of the challenges I faced as a teenager. And I know that it's either you are facing it, either in your workplace or maybe in your school, but you can come out of it. Realize you're special. Realize that you are beautifully and fearfully and wonderfully made by God. No matter whatever you're passing through, and no matter how you look, it's only temporal. Look at me. After 3 kids, I've added weight to the glory of God. But I wasn't the same way I was because that was a temporary situation, right? God has put greatness in you. You are no longer relegated to the background. You are meant for the top. Just realize it. Just follow it. Pursue it. And God is going to take you to great heights. So in the next episode, I'll be sharing with you some tough call times and how we were able to navigate those tough call times. Please don't miss it because I want to share more nuggets with you. Thank you once again for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like and also subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.